guys, so I'm back again making a video. I don't know if you guys watched last week, but we talked about supplies that you'll need for sewing. So this week I was going to do a video on your sewing machine, the kind that I have, the buttons on it, like how all that works. I may have to do a separate video on bobbins, but I will show you guys how to thread your sewing machine. And I'll show you how the bobbin works too with that, because they go hand in hand. So I've also got I've got a friend today, Jack. He's my little baby. So he's going to be helping me with a video. Say hi, Jack. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is my sewing machine. It's a Brother sewing machine and I absolutely love it. I've had it for, I would say, about almost 10 years. And it's worked great. I have no complaints about it. I have used other brands like Singer, and Brother is the best brand that I've ever used personally. That's just the one I prefer. But this one is a PC 420, and it is a Project Runway limited edition, so they probably don't make it anymore, but I would recommend any of these machines in this brand. They're probably the best ones, I would say, just from personal experience. But anyways, let me show you guys all the functions on it. So even if you don't have this exact sewing machine, they all look pretty much the same. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys around on mine, so you'll have an idea at least of how they're supposed to work. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. There's a switch on the side here, so you just flip that on. It turns everything on your machine. You've got all your buttons over here. And I don't use these a lot, you know, it's just if you want to change your stitching, you can use zigzag stitching or, you know, whatever, but I just stick with the, you know, basic stitching and just do that most of the time. And then you've got your needle over here, and I can show you guys how to put a needle in too, probably not this video, but I will get to that, you guys. We will get there. And you've got these other functions on here. This one cuts your thread when you're finished with a project or finished with your line of stitching. You will put this button down, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And this one just puts your needle down, so if you need to do that, but you don't always have to do that, you can just use this. So whenever you need to thread, that's really great to use. And also, this one is your back stitch button, which you must use this on your projects or your threading will come out. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to get a piece of scrap fabric and we will go over it. So let me go ahead and show you guys these buttons, okay? I'll show you how they work. So this is just a piece of scrap fabric. I'm going to show you guys what to do with these little buttons on the side here. So you always want to make sure your pressure foot is lowered, which is this. So you'll just take this little lever right here that's underneath, push it down, and your machine will let you know, most of them, unless you have an older model. So if you go to sew, it tells you right here, your little messages will pop up. So it'll also, this button will be red. Anytime something's wrong, this button's going to be red. So if it's green, you're good to go. So we've got it threaded, which I'll show you in a minute how to thread it too. So we're going to go ahead and just sew a straight stitch. And you can adjust the speed on it as well. So if you want to go really slow, which is how I started out, super slow, or I keep it about right here when I do it, or you can go super fast, which I would not recommend if you're first time seamstress. So with that being said, after you're finished, let's just say we're going to wrap it up here. This right here will do your back stitching, which is really important. So you're going to stitch forward, you're going to hold this button, and it will stitch back. You can't see it, but it goes backwards, and then it will go forwards again. And I just do this a couple times just to secure my stitch. When I'm done with the garment, it really helps so it doesn't come apart, especially when you wash it. And then this button just does this. It's very simple, or you can just use your little thing on the side here, whatever this thing is called. And this button cuts your fabric when you're done. So let's just say we're finished sewing this stitch. So you're just gonna push this button. Okay, so what it did is it cut your fabric, I mean not your fabric, your thread. So that way, when you're finished with it, you can just cut these little threads and you can move on to your next project or whatever you need to do on this one. All right, so let's go ahead and thread your sewing machine. I'll show you how to do that. So we're getting ready to thread our sewing machine, and all sewing machines should be about the same. They all work the same way. Some might be, you know, more newer than others, which you are. If you're sewing for your first time, please get a new machine because it helps so much. I had an old one and it was terrible. So anyways, this is your thread up here, and it just goes on this stick right here, and they give you this cap to put on the end, and that's just so your thread won't come off. So you're just gonna stick that on there, and on your machine it will tell you which order to thread. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6 you can't really see, but it's right here on this needle. It's right above there. Then 7, 8, and 9. So it gives you a really good order on how to do it. Most machines are like this, newer ones. So all right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you are ready to start threading. So we're gonna take our thread and put it up here around this one, and then you're gonna come around and just loop it, and there's 2, and then you're gonna come around, come down, and then go back up. Okay, so here's the tricky part. When you get right here, you have to put your thread behind this piece right here, and then go to 7, and then you're gonna cut it, and then you're gonna go, and now it's threaded, and then you'll just pull it through. And so now that it's threaded, you want to pull your needle down and then back up so it catches on the bobbin. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Your bobbin is down here on your machine. Mine comes out like this, so you see where it's already threaded. So they both go hand in hand. So it's really important to know. I know a lot of people, when I first started, I had problems with my bobbin. It's kind of hard to get the hang of it. And I'll also show you guys how to thread a bobbin. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to thread it. And next week we can talk about the bobbin, because I feel like this is a whole separate video because it can be really complicated. So it has to be threaded a certain way. So we can talk about that next week. But yeah, that's how you thread your sewing machine. Okay, so this concludes our video for today. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, just please ask me and I can help you guys out. I really want to make these videos to try to help people that are learning how to sew, because I wish I would have had this when I first started, and I am actually a self-taught seamstress, so I still have a lot to learn. And you know, YouTube is a great way to learn how to sew, and Pinterest and all those other social media sites. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you want me to make a certain video, talk about something, just let me know, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and hit like and comment. Thank you.